Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Kushman. I'm president of the California Historical Radio Society and have been for some years, and I try to leave, but people won't let me. Thank you for coming to Radio Day by the Bay again. This is our great opportunity to welcome everybody to our home here in Alameda, and for everybody to enjoy my constant companion, Zoe, who likes to talk when the microphone's on. We're going to have a good auction today. We have a great surplus event today, and it's really a fun time. The Royal Society Jazz Orchestra at 11:45. Then at about 1 o'clock, we're going to do Sam Spade, the Blood Money Caper, with some of your favorite local radio personalities. It's a special day in more ways than one, and we didn't plan it this way, but today, of course, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of our species landing on the moon and getting back. And, thank you, Zoe. And as it turns out, this is the 15th annual Radio Day at the Bay, by the Bay. It was not called that in the beginning, but this is the 15th time we've had this day of events. So, and I appreciate everybody's participation. Unfortunately, our guest auctioneer, Mr. Dan Ashley, had an airline flight that he had to be on that was changed at the last minute. So filling in for him will be your master of ceremonies, who I'm about to introduce, and then I'll take the screaming dog away. Mr. Alameda, great supporter of CHRS, Stan Bunger.
I can tell Zoe's upset the dogs haven't landed on the moon yet, so maybe we can straighten that out. Thanks for being here. It's always a pleasure for me. Steve has created a real ruckus here in town by continually referring to me as Mr. Alameda, because I only got here 31 years ago, which in Alameda makes me an absolute newcomer. And while I love this town greatly, it does have its quirks. But what's cool about Alameda is the fact that it has so much history. And what is super cool to me, as a guy who still makes a living in the business of radio, is that Radio Central is here. And so for all of you here today, thanks for being part of what is an unfolding story and a building of a legacy, really, here in Alameda, because radio is so central to the lives of not only Americans, but everybody on the planet. I went and looked the numbers up again this morning to make sure I had them right. And according to Nielsen, radio remains the dominant medium in America. More people use radio on a weekly basis than any other medium. And that's stunning when you consider how many hours people spend drooling in front of a television. It's stunning when you consider how much time people spend doing this on a smartphone. But in fact, on a weekly basis, 93% of adult Americans use radio. That's 5% more than TV and 10% more than smartphones. So we're still number one. And we have been for a long time, and it is really cool that this is taking place, this synergy of events on the 20th of July, 50 years after the lunar landing. But without radio, if you think about it, and its kid brother television, how would we have ever known that people landed on the moon? How would we have ever heard Neil Armstrong's famous line? And so we continue that legacy today. And I've been making my living in the business for over 40 years. I'm proud to say that, happy to continue to do it. And I know that despite all of the spasms and changes of the business model, radio remains a really important part of our lives. So, again, thanks for being part of it today. Very quickly, a couple of key elements on today's schedule, and then we'll get right into the first round of auction. We have, as Steve pointed out, an appearance by the Royal Society Jazz Orchestra. Don Neely's Royal Society Sextet will perform at 11:45, and it'll be my goal to make sure we get right there on time, so you can set a watch on that. We are live streaming the event today. If you go to the CHRS webpage, you'll be able to find the link. I've also tweeted this on the Bunger KCBS Radio Twitter feed and the Stan Bunger Facebook page. So those links are out there. If you've got somebody you know who can't be here and you want to share it with them, you can go ahead and find that and pass that along to them. using your smartphone. And the radio theater presentation of Sam Spade, Blood Money Caper, is scheduled to happen at 1 minute after 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll make sure we hit the network tone at 1 and then begin at 1:01. In between, at 12:45, the announcement of this year's inductees to the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. Ben Fong Torres and my colleague Kim Wonderly will be here to handle that. We will be interspersing all of this with auction segments, and we have a really cool drawing that'll happen at 2 o'clock, and that is for that Zenith Tombstone radio, the 6S27, which is a 1936 vintage, and they were just filling me in on some of the details here about this, which is a 1936 Olympic model that had the Olympic torch engraved, the 1936 Berlin Olympics. So you'll want to have a look at that over at Radio Central. You buy your raffle tickets, must be here at 2 o'clock for the drawing. Now, before we get going on the auction, Seth, did you want to say a few words about the provenance and electronics? So Seth Arp, genius, restoration dude, and overall good guy, is going to tell you a few things about some of the items in the auction, just so that we're all on the same page. Seth?
Hi, everybody, and thanks for coming. I wanted everybody to know that when you look at the auction and the descriptions, you'll notice that some of the radios say either audio-enabled or audio input or Bluetooth. And what that means is that your radio can be used not only to listen to radio, but you can also listen to stuff off your phone or any other audio device. And I've put instructions on the back of all of these radios that have that, but the important thing to know is usually there's a little tiny toggle switch in the back. It needs to be flipped one way or the other depending on whether you listen to radio or audio input. The sets that have Bluetooth have specific instructions on the back, but all of the papers that are on the back that have this information also has my contact information. So if you get one of these radios home and you can't figure it out, give me a call. All right, thank you.
All right, Seth, thank you. And without further ado, a couple of other things. Silent auction going on in the lobby here, and we've had some pretty cool stuff. And these are some touchstones for Bay Area radio history, some personalities. There's one that I came across. How many of you remember the legendary Don Sherwood, the KSFO, Enfant Terrible, and Wunderkind? Well, Don Sherwood, was gone too soon, obviously, and got there the hard way. And a book about him written by Hap Harper, Hap Harper's wife, who knew him well. This book is fascinating. My dad finds this thing at a garage sale and remembers having listened to Sherwood, passes the book on to me, but there's an inscription. And the book is out in the lobby as part of our silent auction today inside, that if we could sort out to whom this book was inscribed and who did the inscribing, we'd have another page and another Bay Area radio mystery. So when you get the chance, head on out there, take a look at it. If you think you have some information about it, please let Cynthia Edwards know, who's handling the silent auction. We love a good story. So we'll start here then. Item number 1 will appear on your screen magically in a moment, and it is an Emerson Model 501. Let me just again remind you, each of you who have registered for the auction do have a number card. Can you just show them to me so I can see roughly how? Okay, good. I will do my very best, and we'll have spotters as well to make sure that we're, but do me a favor and just get them up good and high when you do one. Like that, perfect. I like good. That's yes. Okay. That way, what I'd hate to do is miss somebody's attempt to make a bid and have you lose out on an item that you were interested in. So do me that favor, and we'll all get along well. And we will, of course, keep track of those and record them here. And I have my bird dogs in the front row here. If I'm failing in any way, shape, or form, please let's have a common insurrection followed by folks in the front. All right. Item 4 is a Zenith. This is a model 5G403, vintage 1940, broadcast band. This one has been electronically restored, as Seth described. And this one is a $50 opening bid. $50, please. I need $50 for item number 4. Do I have a $50 bid, please? I do. Bidder number 14. Let's go to $55. Anybody want to go to 55 to top that bid of 50? 55, anyone? If not, $50 is going to take it, going once, going twice, and sold to bidder number 14 for $50. Item 10 is a Fairbanks Morse Model 8A. It's a console model from 1939. It works, broadcast and shortwave. I already have an opening bid of $100 for this model, Model 8A, the Fairbanks Morse. $100. Let's go to $110. Do I have a $110 bid? I have $110. Who will give me $120? We're at $110. Here's $120. $130. Do I have a $130 bid? I do. We'll need to go to $140. Sir, are you good for $140? $140. How about $150? The $150 bid. $160 is next. Do I have a $160? I can go to $160. I do have $160. Next, it'll take $170. $170 is in. I have $170. $180, sir. Will you go to $180? $170 is the bid now. If I don't get $180, we're going to sell this at $170. Going once, going twice, and sold, sir, to bidder number 11 for $170. Thank you. I'm going to hand things over now to my talented friend and colleague and Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame laureate, the lovely, the talented, and the so insistent when it comes to buying things, Kim Wonderly. Kim?
And the considerably shorter than Stan.
Here's a pen.
All right. Oh, a pen. How official.
And we're starting.
All right.
There.
And you have the little thing. And also, if you're interested, okay. Let's get right back to it with this Crosley 03 CP console from 1941. And BCSW, so we know what that means. It's a 78 RPM phono in there, unrestored, and we'll start the bidding at 120. Anybody? 120? Do I hear 120? Anyone? Right there, thank you, sir. Anyone else? 120, 125. 125, or we should have jumped to 130, but we'll go 125 for now. 125, anyone? Going once, twice, 120 for paddle number 11, thank you. Oh, look at this. Now we're talking our era, huh? This is a Kenwood KR8010 AM/FM stereo receiver. It works, and we'll start the bidding here. This is pretty, at 125. Anyone? 125? 125, sir, thank you. 135. 135 for the Kenwood. Anyone? 135? Going once, twice. Sold to number upside down 28 for 125. Thank you. Let's go to this Zenith 6D315U 1938 broadcast band. We've had electronic restoration on this one. Look at the design, look at the dial. $70, we'll start the bidding right here. 70, 75, do I hear 75? $75, sir. 80, $80, thank you. 85 perhaps? 85. $90 here, how about 95? What do you think, 95? Anyone? 95? 95 in the back, thank you, sir. $100, a nice round figure. $100, do you think? Going once for 95, twice. Sold in the back. Can you see that paddle again? 30, is that a 6? 36, number 36. We'll turn the page. This is an RCA 95T from 1938. Nice design. This is broadcast shortwave. This one's also been electronically restored. Start the bid at just $45. $45 for the RCA. Thank you, sir. 50. There's 50 over here. 55. 55. How about 60? 60. 65. 65 over here. 70. What do you think? $70. Gotcha. 75. Anybody? 75. We got a bidding war here at 75. How about 80? What do you think? 80. Then 75 is going once, twice. Sold to number 7, $75. Thank you. And I think this is a good spot to take a break, Stan.
All right. Kim Wonderly, everyone.
Hey.
Ordinarily, Kim delivers bad news on the traffic reports. Thanks for a stellar job. All right, Rosie Allen, time to do some real work here, girl. And for those of you who don't know Rosie Allen, it's your loss. Rosie's one of the great names in Bay Area radio history, a member of the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame for so long.
I am.
My ass was kicked on a regular basis by Rosie and her crew at KGO and when this was the leading radio station in town. So we're so happy to have you here today, Rosie.
See you,
All right, I'm going to run the clicker for you.
Thank
You do
you.
the dirty work.
All right, hey everybody. Now I need you to dig down deep into those dusty pockets because I know there's a lot of dust in there. Okay, we're going to start out. We're going to run through these fairly quickly. If you want to bid, just show me what you got. This is lot number 142. It's an RCA model number 143, built around 1934. It's broadcast band, and it does work. Opening bid on this one is $140. Oh, number 1 over here, 140. 140, 150. One is the next one. Is 150? 150? Going 150? Ah, there you are, 150. 160. Oh, don't go so fast. No, 160. What does that mean? Oh, no, 200? Oh my God, see, I would never have been able to figure that out. 200. 200 over here. Do I see 210? 210. Oh, you guys, we got a bidding war here. 210? 250 up in the ante here. Do I see anything beyond 250? 250, going once, twice, sold to number one for 250. Moving on, we have Scott All Wave 23. It's a console, 1934 BCSW. Tasman cabinet has tweeters. Oh, it should be tweeters and no tweeties. Okay, it has tweeters, chrome, and it is very nice. That's a good description. Oh, it clearly is very nice. Opening bid is $1,100. I see $1,100 right here at number 7. Do I see 1,200? 12. Ooh. Okay, 1,200. Do I see 1,300? 1,300, number 9, 1,300. Do I see 1,400? Number 24, no. Do I do 24, and what's your number? I can't see you. 24 and 36, so 14. Do I see 1,500? 1,500? 24, okay. 1,600? 1,600, do I see 1,700? Do I see 1,700? It's you, yeah. No, you're good, you're at 16, you're good. Do I see 17? Any place 1,700, any place? Okay, sold, going on. 1,700, 30, tell me again. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? 1,600, thank you. I was just trying to get some more money out of you. 16, what's your number again? I can't see that. 36, yeah. They need bigger numbers. 36, number 36, gentlemen, at 1,601. Okay, Scott Philharmonic console, 1940. VCSW has pre-war FM, and they spelled tweeters right this time. It has tweeters. Chrome is very nice. It's a nice, big, beautiful item, and the starting bid is $1,500, and we have that. Number 7, $1,500. Do I see 16? Do I see 1,600? Number 24, 1,600. Do I see 1,700? 1,700, number 7. Do I see 1,800? Do I see 1,800, number 41? Do I see 1,900? 1,900? 1,900, number 7. Do I see 2,000? 2,000? 2,000, number 11. 2,000. You must have a place for that. 2,000. $2,100. $2,100. Anybody at 2,100? Anybody at 2,100? Are you out? Okay. Gone at 2,000 to number 11. And our final item, unless there's one hiding someplace, is a Telefunken Opus 5430X.
Rosie, I'm going to slip in here for a moment.
Okay.
Yep. To let Seth Arp, who puts his hands on many of these devices, is it fair to say many, most, or all? Seth has a little something to add about this device.
Okay.
So this one's pretty extra special. It's if you want to own a German stereo system, this is pretty nice. Me and a few other guys worked on it. And those are not the original speakers, but they still sound great. Nice unit. Just wanted to say that.
All right, now, that should sell it for you. All right, so it's a Telefunken Opus 5430 Big X, 1963. I remember that year very well. BCS WFM, electronically restored, has Polk audio speakers, and has a Bluetooth. Opening bid, $250. Anybody at $250? Oh, come on. Did you not hear what he said? Seth, right? Seth said this thing is a winner here. Oh, man. I see. $250 is a steal. Vintage. 1963. Who remembers that? Probably everybody in this room, except for Seth, maybe. Oh, number 7. All right, Steve. I remember 1963. I remember 1963. No other bidders at $250. Going, gone. Number 7 at $250. That sounds like a deal. All right. Thank you all very much. You guys are great. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you, Rosie. Great to see you, and thanks so much.